On July 24th, 2015 at 2:22 a.m., a man placed a call to 911 saying that his car was stolen. It had his girlfriend's 21-month-old baby inside, and he can't find the car. But later, surveillance video cracks open the whole case. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney Morgan. If you are new here, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, you subscribe so you know when I come out with new videos, and in the comments let me know what you think or just say hi. On October 17th, 2013, a woman named Lonzie Barton had a baby, and his name was Lonzie Barton. Things didn't work out very well between Lana and Lonzie's father, so they split. They also had another child who was, I think, 2 years older than Lonzie, and it was a girl. Lana was an exotic dancer in Jacksonville, Florida. In January of 2015, she met a man named William Ruben Ebron. On the evening of July 23rd, 2015, Lana went off to work at the club, and she left her 2 children in the hands of, everybody calls him Ruben, so I'm just going to call him Ruben, of her boyfriend, Ruben. And at 2:22 a.m., the morning of the 24th, Ruben calls 911 and he says, hey, my car's been stolen. So he's going on reporting like it's an orange Honda. It was stolen from this parking lot, blah, 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 blah. I think it was 2 minutes into the conversation with the 911 dispatcher until he tells them that the 21-month-old Lonzie Barton was in the back seat. So this throws the woman on the phone for a loop. She's like, wait, why wouldn't you lead with that? Why wouldn't that be the first thing that you tell me when you call 911, that there's a baby in the car? Then he proceeds to tell the dispatcher that the baby's name is Aaron. So almost immediately they put out an Amber Alert to find baby Aaron. And about 15 minutes after police arrive, they actually find Ruben's orange Honda down the road. Lonzie was not in the car. So now they're like, okay, we have the car. Where the hell is the baby? So everybody starts searching. And they find this really fishy. Like something's not adding up. So they take Ruben and they go back to the police station so that they can question him and figure out a little bit more details of what the hell is going on and where Lonzie can be. In the police station, Ruben begins telling police the story of what happened that night. He says that he took Lana to work at the club, dropped her off, and then he went back home, gathered up all the dirty clothes, and he was going to the laundromat to wash them. So he gets to the laundromat, leaves the kids in the car and the car running. He claims that sometimes when you shut the engine off, it won't start back up, it'll stall out, so he just claims he always leaves the car running. So he's in the laundromat, he puts the load of clothes in the washer, and then he says he realizes that he forgot the detergent. So he gets back in the car, drives back to their apartment, parks the car, goes inside to grab the detergent, and then he said after about 2 minutes, the older of the 2 children come running into the apartment, and that left Lonzie in the car by himself. Ruben claims that when he went back downstairs to go get in the car, that he saw the car driving away. But a few minutes later, police actually get it out of Ruben that he did not go home to get detergent. It was cocaine. He was getting cocaine. Then they start asking him, like, where do you get your supply? Where do you get your supply? And he wouldn't say anything, but they continued on with the questioning. And Ruben's not giving police really any information that helps whatsoever. Police went to the club that Lana was working at, and they notified her, hey, your son's missing. You need to come down to the police station. We've got Ruben down there. We need to figure out where this baby's at. So they put Lana in the room right next to Ruben, and they start asking her questions. And she starts telling police about how Lonzie's been sick. He's been like leaking fluid from his ears and all kinds of crazy stuff. They spoke with one of Lana's friends who apparently earlier that day gave her a ride to the Dollar General to get medicine because she thought Lonzie was just sick. But that friend said that Lonzie had bruising behind his ear and his ear was all yucky and it was leaking yellow pus. Lana claims that she just thought he was sick. So another red flag goes up to police because they're thinking bruising on his head, leaking pus from his ears, like this does not sound right. So after a few hours, they're not getting anywhere with either Ruben or Lana. So they decide, since they want to talk to each other so bad, that they were going to put them in the same room, step out, and listen to see what their conversation was about. They were whispering. It was weird. Lana did continuously ask Ruben, where is my son? Where is my kid? Where is my kid? She did seem pretty sincere and believable, but nothing was coming out while they were whispering about things. I'm pretty sure they later on found out that they were whispering about like drugs or something. I don't know. Apparently they both did a lot of cocaine. When police start getting into more detailed questions, and I think Ruben could feel that they were starting to lean toward him, like he had something to do with Lonzie's disappearance. Ruben started saying, I want to go home. I just want to go home. Can't we finish this up later? I want to go home. I want to go home. And the police are trying to talk him down. Like, you can go home, but if this baby is missing, why would you go home? Why don't you stay here so that you're here when we need you guys? And then he starts asking for like a lawyer and crap, and they're just like, this is not right. But while they're being interrogated, police go and they search the neighborhood. They're trying to find any kind of like surveillance video so that they can see if they can see the car driving around or driving by, or somebody coming up to pick up the car. And what they see definitely shocked them. On somebody's camera, they saw the orange Honda drive by away from the apartment building, but then 10 minutes later, you see Ruben running from the direction the car went back toward the apartments with no Lonzie. To keep them both at the police station, they did charge both of them with child neglect. A reward went out for information on where Lonzie is, or any information leading to find him, or unfortunately his body, if it comes down to that. On August 24th, Lana was released on a $50,000 bond. But unfortunately, Ruben would be staying in jail. It's pretty funny. Ruben actually attempted an escape from police custody around this time. He tried to use a plastic handcuff key to release his handcuffs so he could escape, and apparently they found that there was a car with a person in it waiting nearby to grab him. He didn't escape, but he definitely was trying to pull some shady shit. So they're both booked. They're both sitting in jail. After a while, Ruben starts to talk. He actually claims that the morning of July 23rd, just hours before Lonzie went missing and was kidnapped, he and Lana were busy in the bedroom having sex. And Lonzie was in the bathtub, and when they got done having sex, they went and looked, and he claims that Lonzie was dead. On January 11th, 2016, Ruben finally led police to where Lonzie's body was. It was in a wooded area off of a highway. So now Ruben's charges are upgraded to murder. Lonzie's autopsy came back and it said that he had 2 skull fractures, 8 cracked or broken ribs, and blunt force trauma to the head. So now look at the story that Ruben's trying to tell. That they were having sex and Lonzie drowned in the bathtub. Well, clearly with 8 broken ribs, 2 skull fractures, and the cause of death being blunt force trauma to the frickin' head, he didn't drown in a frickin' bathtub. Clearly, this kid had been beaten. And in Lana's interrogation, somebody came forward and said, yeah, he had bruises on his head, he was leaking yellow pus from his ears. This child must have been being beaten on a regular basis to have all these injuries. So I'm going to assume that on this day that Lonzie died, it probably just went too far. And then Lana went to work and Ruben disposed of the body and then pretended that Lonzie was just kidnapped. So while they're in court, Lana comes out and drops a bombshell that she is pregnant. She wasn't really pregnant. That was a way that she was trying to put sympathy on people. Like, hey, you can't have a pregnant woman in jail. That's not cool. So she faked a pregnancy and to try to get some information on if she knew anything. They had one of her cellmates with a recorder, and they recorded secret conversations of Lana saying she's tired of faking pregnant and she's tired of wearing this big sweater to court to try to fool everybody into thinking that she is pregnant. But that strategy didn't work because now police know she's not actually pregnant. No sympathy from anyone. Sorry, Lana. So in the end, Ruben was convicted of this murder and disposal. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Lana was again arrested after she got out on bond, and she got 5 years for neglect and all that fun stuff. But here's a fun fact that I found out actually yesterday. Lana actually got 7 more years for drug charges, and Ruben got, I think, 5 more years for drug charges. And the other child of Lana's is actually being taken care of by her mother. By Lana's mother. Her mother. Her grandmother. Yeah, there you go. She lives with her grandmother now, but she's doing well. She is hopefully not going to suffer too much from this situation, but I mean, word is that her and Lonzie's biological father actually is served 2 years in prison for drug charges. So apparently everybody in this case is on drugs and beating up children. So they deserve the years that they got in jail. It's pathetic. I mean, it's one thing to spank your child. It's another thing to beat them so severely that you crack their ribs or have pus leaking out of their ears or bruises on their head, or, I mean, Lonzie died. So I'm glad that the other sibling is out of there, and hopefully Lana didn't learn her behaviors from her mother, because that's where the little girl is living at now. I know this was a short case, but I just thought it was really interesting of how everything played out. I feel absolutely horrible for Lonzie. He did not deserve any of that. He wasn't even 2 yet. And in every way possible, everyone in his family, in his household, completely failed him. And I hope Lana and Ruben really enjoy their prison stay, because in my opinion, they got off light. Only 20 years? And then only 5 years for neglect, abuse, and murder and disposal of a body. They got off easy. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me and watching this video. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. You subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And in the comments, let me know what you think. And I will see you guys later. Bye!